For VOA's Business Scene, I'm Skylar Ogden. Apple could soon be facing tariffs on components of its MacBook Pro computers if it manufactures them in China. The company had asked for an exemption on tariffs, but in a tweet, U.S. President Donald Trump said no.
Apple will not be given tariff waivers or relief for MacBook Pro parts made in China. Make them in the USA.
Mr. Trump has placed tariffs on $250 billion worth of Chinese goods being imported into the United States. A U.S. company can ask for an exemption from those tariffs, but it has to show that its products cannot be made within the United States. Apple says that despite this latest tariff threat, it still plans on manufacturing its new MacBook Pro in China. The computer accounts for only a small portion of Apple's overall business. Bringing manufacturing back to the United States has been one of Trump's primary goals in the administration's ongoing trade war with China, in addition to reducing the trade deficit and protecting U.S. intellectual property. While U.S. and Chinese trade representatives are meeting this week in Shanghai to negotiate, expectations for a substantive, long-term solution to the trade dispute remain low. Southeast Asian ride-hailing firm Grab said that it will invest $2 billion into Indonesia over 5 years, using capital received from Japanese technology investor SoftBank Group. Grab says that the investment will go towards building a transportation network around electric vehicles, improving digital infrastructure for important services like healthcare, and creating a second headquarters in Jakarta. SoftBank chief executive Masayoshi Son hinted that the bank's investment in Indonesia could even go beyond the $2 billion.
We will create a second headquarters of Grab in Indonesia and become a fifth unicorn, and also invest $2 billion through Grab. But then on top of that, we will invest more into Indonesia.
Grab's biggest rival in Indonesia will be the on-demand transportation startup Gojek, which has been the dominant player in the Indonesian market until now and is valued at around $10 billion. For VOA's Business Scene, I'm Skylar Ogden.
Take a step back, because when you refer to it as the Trump trade war, I would say that as you and I have spoken many times, none of this makes any sense unless you think we have a problem with China stealing our intellectual property. And I would say to those college students, if China steals your intellectual property, you're not going to have jobs in the future, and much worse, your children are not going to have jobs in the future. So to me, the first question we have to establish is China a problem? Is a $450 billion trade deficit with China a problem? If you think not, then none of this makes any sense. If you think it does,
Guys, we do want to be careful of actually leaning on this.
We have Xcode on my MacBook Air, and then I've also installed
Since I was a little kid, I was always playing with Hot Wheels, and even before Hot Wheels, little plastic cars. Just